the internet gets kind of crazy with the lies. The lies be
can't.
going crazy on the
I
internet,
mean,
man.
well,
They say
the lies start from a narrative, and the narrative starts from a person, and you just got to look at it like that. But I've never been one in my life to care about clearing up no rumors. Like that shit just takes time out my day from making money. I know who I am. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I stand 10 toes down on everything I believe in. I don't change my pivot, and everybody knows that. I mean, as you can see, I would not be here if I did anything else but be me.
they say that all this happened because he asked 50 Cent a question about you performing in the middle of Cameron and 50's feud.
I mean, who knows, man? All this could happen for numerous amounts of reasons. But yeah, that was crazy what him and 50 had did on TV. Thinking back about it, but it is what it is. We dealing in a world where everything is about media, and the internet is a big place where people make a lot of money on. I understand what people are doing when they have these platforms, and to stay on these platforms, you got to do everything possible to do to make a dollar and make, you know what I mean? So I'm not on no platforms. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a gossiper. I don't talk about people every day to make a dollar and shit like that. I get up every day and get to it, to the things that I need to do to feed my family, to make sure the company is running, and make sure my employees get paid. Like, I just don't rap. I just don't sit here and engage in this petty that's going on the internet. Although it's a great avenue for marketing, and it has helped me out tremendously in the past 2 weeks with everything that has been occurring and shit like that. So, and this is something that you can't pay for. I don't think a company could put any dollar amount on the type of viral that we was able to pull off with everything that's going on. And it's just crazy to see how negative energy could turn to a positive because so many people are worried about negative. You know what I mean? You know how this go. You've been to science class. You know about neutrons and shit like that, right? You look
Yep.
like you do.
I didn't do too good in school. I mean, I did okay. But what were the phone calls like after this went viral? Like, I know a lot of people
As far
don't
as
really
what?
want to see you guys beef.
As far as what?
Like, were people trying to call you to get you guys to squash it or to talk to you or have a
I
conversation
mean,
with
yeah,
you?
I've had numerous amounts of calls to the point that I kind of stopped picking up my phone because most people are calling with references to everything that's going on, whether it may be y'all should stop engaging, y'all brothers, y'all got to figure it out. Dipset is the most powerful thing ever. My childhood, I can't believe this going on. Like y'all wrote the blueprint to us coming up. Like I've been getting so many calls and shit like that, and I mean, for me, it's like it seems like people don't look at the playing field, and it seems like whenever I react to anything, it's taken more seriously than anything else, and it turns into what we have now. And I haven't even said nothing. Like I told, the last thing I crashed was a boat in Bahamas. You can ask my man Ellie. You heard? For real.
Now, one of the things that he brought up that I wanted to ask you about was the whole BMF situation. I think you touched on it before in previous interviews.
Yeah, I
But
talked about this. We talked about this plenty of times. Shouts to BMF. Shouts to Misha. See that he's home. I know I haven't spoke to him, but I do have a relationship with him. I've talked to him a bunch of times while he was incarcerated.
one of the things that is like real big in hip hop history that I kind of feel doesn't really get talked about enough, man, and that's the tunnel.
I say that also too. That's like Studio 54. The tunnel was that for hip hop, 100% hands down. And once again, it was just one of them golden eras. Like you had to be there to really be there. You know what I mean? Like I can't explain it. One of the most exciting times in my life. Coming up since a teenager, the first time I've been in the tunnel, I was 16. I may have been 94, 93, something like that. I remember my man Dieter, big hustler from the block, he would take us all to the tunnel and shit like that. And shit, that opened my eyes to a whole new world. Going to school the next morning and shit like that, just leaving from seeing Mike Tyson and all these type of people, and then I stuck at it, and then we became artists, start going down there. But some of the most incredible nights of my life I had in the tunnel. Word.
What's your like craziest story or thing that happened to you in the tunnel?
It's so many. Um, I can remember Snoop and Dr. Dre performing upwards of an hour and a half. Man. Remember Snoop and Dr. Dre, they crip, and at this time, it's heavy blood. It's blood. It's heavy blood. This might be 96. This thing started in 93. The tunnel was wall-to-wall bloods. So as they performing all that chronic shit that we all love, they see a bunch of bloods going crazy. And the bloods, is, as a term of endearment, they start throwing the flags on the stage. And Snoop get a little bit nervous, you dig? And not to say maybe he wasn't nervous, but from the looks of things, there wasn't nothing they could do about it with 1,000 bloods throwing rags on the stage and shit like that in the tunnel. Like it just was that crazy. And then he's like, yo, you know, we out here on love and respect. Niggas think we showing you love. Yo, Blood's like, what we doing? We showing you love. Word up. And then they continue to perform for them. That shit was a dope ass night. I'd never forget that shit. Word. I had the Flintstone iceberg on, orange joint. You did? I think I took that from Cam too, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been his shit I took out the house.
Damn. Okay. So it looked like it was gonna get wild for him, but it was really just everybody showing love.
Just love. But the tunnel was dope, man. Just a hell of a everything about the tunnel, you know what I mean? And it showed who you were from the moment you walk in, your status. You dig? If you was waiting on the line, you know you was regular. If you got to park your car on the block of the tunnel, you know you was ill. You had the express line on the side and shit like that. I remember named Meach used to had a line on the side. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Chris Lighty, man, RP and things like that, man. Yeah, I've been going to tunnel since those days when they cracked that bitch open. Peter Gation, head of security. I used to have under so much pressure. I used to come down there and be like 80 bloods, literally. They be begging me to bring in 10 at a time. Please. Yeah, it was a great time. Young, dumb, ignorant, and having fun. Word. Definitely a great time.
Now, how easy was it to sneak, weapons in?
Nothing. You had to be that. They were searching your socks. They was making you take your shoes off, everything. If you wasn't about nothing, you wasn't getting in with nothing. It wasn't touching me. I walked in there with a box of Dutch Masters, hammer under the Dutch Masters. You heard? 100 razors. You dig? They was going to the store to get 100 razors for they walking that shit. That shit was a battleground too. Nasty. And you had to be. I remember going in there and God bless the homie Nut backed out 2 guns on us. Word. 2 of them. Boop boop. What's up? Ever since then, I knew that we was in a different game, and we had to be, word, show me some shit. Had the Tupac vest on Versace shit, bald headed. Shout out to Brooklyn. He put this shit up like, man, y'all all right, bro? Y'all don't know who I am? Cause we trying to ask, hey, bro, question and shit like that. Word up. Shout out to Deuce too. He home, saved my life that night in the tunnel. Word, he had two hammers on him too. I'm in there like, oh, shit is like the Western. Like everybody got 2 guns on them. Oh, I bet. You heard? Bet. Well, we know what we gotta do next week because everybody got 2 guns on them. Like what's going on? Word. So this type of shit going on in the tunnel. And keep in mind, you got models in there, you got rappers in there, you got bad bitches in there, you got gangbangers in there, you got every specimen of you is in there. Crazy. I'm talking about real models, GQ models, the 6 foot, like, or see Mike Tyson walk through that shit, separate the whole club. Silk shirt, nothing but ice on. Nobody looked at him twice. Nobody even touched his silk shirt. I'm looking at my man James like, yo, nobody touching this. That shit is this party. He's just walking through it. Like, oh, Mike. Word, you got me thinking about the tunnel. That's a good question. I like that question. Tunnel was a fun time for me. Word.
Damn, so Mike had everybody scared going through there.
Yeah, that was when Mike was in his, I was in the real Mike. This is 95. You heard? Mike, this was 95. Are you shitting me? Nigga, Mike had knocked the whole club head off in 95.
Yeah, damn. How did the club treat Mike when he was there?
I mean, I don't know about that. I'm a fan. I'm 16, 17. Just told you I'm in high school watching this shit, nigga. I'm going to school tomorrow like a fan. Like I was in there with Mike. I seen this. I was a rap fanatic. You heard? From the projects. All we do is hustle. We get next to the rappers. I'm a real fan. This when rappers were real superheroes, like grown men. Like what? I'm 17. Rap music was my life. Everything. Source magazine, everything. That's all I knew about. We was in there like real fans and trying to be cool at the same time. And go to school the next day and talk about it.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.